Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'll wait for a couple more people to jump on. It feels good to be back. I forgot obviously doing the stuff with footy abroad. But I forgot how to do everything. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know how long this sort of stream's going to go for. I guess it depends on how many people we sort of get on and want to have a chat. Um, if you are wanting to have a chat, I've got the link the uh, in the comment section. So just jump on. It's just here. So just jump on onto that link, and we can have a chat about the season. This is going to be more about you guys telling me what your thoughts are of the season so far. And then I've got another video coming out either tomorrow or Saturday to sort of talk about that. But click that link, scroll up if you haven't. Click that link, scroll up, and we can have a talk about the season. Hope everyone's having a good night. Yeah, like I said, we've been doing footy abroad for I don't know what is it 10 or 11 weeks or something like that, and I just miss going live, and I think that we're gonna bring this back. It's just, man, so like why I can't or why I don't go live anymore is because I work in the city. So coming down, so I finish work at 5, I get down to Craigieburn at like 7 o'clock. So it's just absolutely ridiculous walking the dogs and then having dinner. Um, doesn't leave a lot of time for Luke. So but we'll try and bring this back maybe once a week, once a fortnight. Once a week is ideal. Um, but once a fortnight would be awesome. I'm gonna chuck that link in there again, just so you guys can jump on. Just come on, say hey. But we'll get one person on already who's been waiting for a while. Let's do it. Oh, hang on, Kev. Can you hear me?
Swoop, how are you? Yeah, I can hear you, mate. How are you?
Good. How you going?
Yeah, good. Very happy. Got the bike, can relax, watch
Yeah,
footy. So yeah, it's pretty good.
exactly. Tell me, mate, what are your thoughts on the season so far, and then we can just go from there.
So far, I think it's been a good season. The only thing is the draw against Fremantle. We should have won that. That's no ifs and buts. We should have definitely won that. I thought the draw against Essendon that could have gone 50-50. A bad loss against the Saints, which you look back on and think how the hell we lost to them.
Yep,
Um,
yep,
it wasn't ideal losing the first two. I thought we would have dominated and lose to Brisbane, but the
yep.
way that Brisbane's been playing, I thought that we would win. Obviously, because we tend to travel well, and yeah, I think it's been really good so far. The game against Melbourne was a really good performance, considering that we stuck at it all day, and we didn't let them come back and make it close, which I was kind of expecting us to do.
Hmm.
The North Melbourne game, we started off poor in that first quarter, but I thought second and third, fourth quarter, we were able to kick a few goals as well. It's just a bit of momentum that hurt us a little bit in our
Yeah.
inaccuracy. But yeah, I'm very happy that we got the
So,
win as well.
so Kev, what was your favorite win of the season so far?
Um, ooh, I probably would say the Brisbane game is definitely up there because of the
Yep.
way that we're 0-4, they were 0-3. That was
Yeah.
pressure situation. Probably the second favourite is probably the North Melbourne game because of the way that we're able to fight back and we have this attitude of we're not, you know, we would rather risk losing by 10 goals and playing
Yeah.
faster footy than obviously, losing by 100 points or losing by a couple of kicks by, making it so defensive. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think those two for me that stuck out. The
And
Melbourne win was good, and
yeah.
even the Port Adelaide win as well.
And what do you think was our worst? I guess worst loss, and you can even include a draw if you want to. You mentioned the Fremantle game.
The Fremantle game was at definitely we were in control the whole game. We were in control. We allowed them to kick away. I don't think we scored ourselves in one of the quarters that we played. I'll have to fact check that to see if I'm correct. Obviously, the St Kilda game was pretty disappointing because we allowed them to jump us from the start instead of us playing our brand of footy. But then again, we were coming off a grand final, so I think there was a bit of an excuse there that you start slowly. Maybe it was because we started off so well last year and we had a down period. I did say, I can't remember who I said to, I'd rather have this down period now, early in the season, than having it
100%.
late on and trying to get up there like we were. And and I think the same would be for Sydney as well. They're playing great footy at the moment, but unfortunately, they're going to have the same thing that's happened to us in Port Adelaide, where they will have that down period and teams are going to get them. So while they've been lucky to win the last couple of weeks, eventually they're going to lose and they'll probably lose a few games in a row as well. It is a long season, so no team goes through a season
100%.
undefeated.
And like you said, it was it's been a bit of a weird one. We get to the halfway point. We've got 6 debutants. We've got no
forward line
sort of leaders, no forward line, and it's just been makeshift. And okay, Boomer from Blackrock says the older guys have done well after being named sub. Yeah, Chris Poseidon was going to lift up. They've got to kick up the arse. Some of the older guys have got a bit of a kick up the arse, and we're sitting third, which is really nice. And just despite it all, we're really poised for a good second half of the season. Once all these players return, we've got maybe 3 or maybe 2 or 3 players coming back against Gold Coast, which will be really nice. But Kev, thanks for coming on, mate.
It's all good, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, you too, mate.
Thanks, mate. Bye. All right, we're getting another person on. Shannon.
Hey,
how you going?
I'm all right.
Tell me, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
It's getting to the halfway stage at this point.
Yep.
With teams sliding in the 8, sliding out of the 8, but I could see an upset potentially happening.
Yep. So what do you think about what's been your favourite win so far for us this season?
I say it would probably be that Collingwood North game that happened. 54 points down, you walk by. I thought Collingwood were gone for sure, but that's why they're called the kings of the close games.
Kings of the close games. To put 40 points on in the last quarter against a good North Melbourne outfit, it kind of shows the perseverance and the belief that the Pies have, not only in the system but in each other as well, to get up for Braden's 200th. But what do you think? With the 2 draws, how do you sort of see the rest of our season playing out?
Yeah, I could see another draw happening for the Pies, but I could see another win, as you guys got a bye this week. Hopefully, you should get some players back this week.
Yeah, should be. Got a bit of commotion going on in the background. Yeah, we should get a couple of players back this week, which would be nice. It should be a little bit of fun. Someone just said, do you go for West Coast Eagles?
Shannon? Yeah.
So what do you think about the West Coast Eagles this season? Just quickly.
Yeah, my boys have been going well. Managed to pick off 3 bad teams.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not doing too bad given the state of everything that's happening. Shannon, thanks for joining us, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. All right, Ben, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go, dude. Sick. Hey, yo, mate.
Hello. I'm good,
Hey.
thank you, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I had to smash through dinner, so I got a little bit of heartburn, but it's all good. You know how it is. Tell me, mate.
Yeah,
Tell me, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
I'd say up and down, topsy-turvy, roller coaster type. the start of the season, I was like, are we really going to be like bottom four this year? What is this?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on? And then like just the last, I don't know how many games it's been. It's just win or draw, the odd loss. Like we're third
Yep.
somehow. I don't know how
Yeah.
that's happened, but yeah, man. I just wanted to say, um, what was it? Was it the other week you had? I watched the footy abroad, and I wanted
Yep.
to jump on, but I thought, oh, I wasn't too sure. But I watched from Wellington, New Zealand.
Oh, oh, no way. I noticed your accent,
Yeah.
but that's cool, man. So how does what's up? And look, I guess I can. I've got this idea for. Oh shit! Oops. I got this idea for a I got this idea for like a video series because I'm getting a lot of people messaging me about watching the game in different parts of the world, and I guess Blue sort
Oh
of
yeah.
Blue Abroad sort of gave me the idea where I want to start doing videos with like you. There's another guy that I talked to, John from fucking Germany, who watches
Wow.
who is a big pie supporter from Germany. He's a German from that, and that's cool. So I want to sort of do a video about I'm not going to call it super broad, but that's the sort of vibe that I'm giving. So how was it? How was it? How was it like being a pie supporter in New Zealand?
It's not bad. I've got a few Collingwood gears. I've got a scarf. I was like an
Nice.
overseas member for like 2 years, so
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think I had to pay extra for this. I've got myself a scarf, a beanie. Was
Nice.
alright, and don't want to go too personal, but my ex, she got me this. She saw that
Oh,
randomly
cute.
in Perth, and I said, "Can you get one for me, please?" So I've been rocking that.
Love that.
So I've been
Love that,
rocking the
man. Love
Collingwood
that.
gear. I think people know that I support Collingwood. I think there's someone that actually lives in my town that actually supports Collingwood as well, because he's like
That's sick.
messaged me saying like, "Oh, do you live in this like in where I live?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. I live in the other side of where I live, so it's pretty cool."
See, that's awesome to find another Collingwood supporter in your town. So did you go, so you've been in New Zealand, like you grew up in, like born, raised in New Zealand?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Proud
so
Kiwi.
did, so did you go to that wasn't there a game played for points in New Zealand?
There was so 2013, 14. Hang on, it's not good at that. 2013, 14, and 15. St Kilda came to New Zealand and played.
Yep.
It was during Anzac round,
Yes, yep.
and I was sick the first one, but I went to the previous two. So,
Yep.
so Saints in New
Oh,
Zealand.
there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was like they had special um, beanies and scarves and all that. But I think the first year was pretty good. It was like 22,000. And then
Okay, yeah.
the last 2 years of it was like between 14 to 12,000. So it was a bit. You sort of see like it wasn't attracting the fans, but it was still cool to
See a game there.
see a game in New Zealand. And
Yeah.
because our stadium in Wellington is oval shaped, it's called the Captain. So it's like the perfect place to have an AFL game. And
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
whenever they have a rugby game or soccer football game, like there's like half the pitch, but to actually see the full ground being utilized, like it's actually cool.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
because I know New Zealand, they've obviously got the A League team, and there's going to be a second. So they've got the Wellington Phoenix, and they're going to have the Auckland
Auckland FC.
Knights. Is it? Yeah. Or yeah.
Auckland,
Whatever they're going to be.
I can't wait for that. Derby in New
Yeah.
Zealand.
So
It's gonna be awesome.
with two A League teams, and you guys got a basketball team as well that plays
Yeah,
in the
Breakers
NBL.
and the Warriors, the rugby league
Yeah,
team.
and then you got the rugby team. Do you think there is a time in 10, 20 years that a football team comes to New Zealand?
I would love it to happen. I was going to ask you the same thing. Is that something the AFL would be ready for? Like, would the AFL be ready to take that leap? And like thinking of when the Saints came to New Zealand, and I forgot what teams went to China because I know there was a few teams that had a few games in
It
China
was the
before COVID
Suns.
happened.
The Suns and Port went to China.
Yeah, that's right. But they only got like 10,000. I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'd love it, but
yeah. I would love it. Like we see it. I think the biggest thing that would probably stop it is like, Perth teams already sort of complain about flying over 4 hours or whatever it is to the east to play, and then you have to travel again further to Brisbane, to New Zealand. But the A League does it. They've got Perth in there, and rugby do it and stuff like that. I'd love to see it. I'd absolutely love to see it. So look, let's get back to the season so far. So what's been your favorite win and your the one that sort of got away from us?
favorite win, probably all of them. But if I had to pick one, I think the Port Adelaide one really stood out for me because I was watching it. Adelaide were down by 30 points in the first quarter. I'm like, what is
Yeah,
this?
they
What
smashed
are
us
we
in that
doing
first quarter.
again? It's like, are we playing? It's like we're going backwards. And then
Yeah,
it was just, I don't know if like a switch flicked and we just like destroyed them. It was like we're just playing ourselves out there, really.
no,
Just like they didn't
100%.
even have a chance.
No,
And
100%. We ended up winning that game by 42 points, and it's our highest score of the season. So, like, it says something about how we absolutely played that day. And like you said, I think they put 5 or 6 goals on in the first quarter, and they were up by a lot. Yeah, and then to come back and win by 42. I don't rate Port at all, but I think that was a really good win.
yeah, it was an awesome win. I would even say the game last week, that just felt like I was in 2022 or even early parts of last year again. It was just like, felt like I wanted to turn it off. I was like, no, keep the
Yeah,
faith. They can
yeah,
do it. They can play the way they play and they'll come back into the game eventually. Like, even if they lost, I still want to see them play their way. That's all I really care about. Like, the way some other teams play, not disrespecting the Saints, but like sometimes they can play a bit slow. Even the
yeah,
Dockers
yeah.
can play a bit slow, and it's like I would be frustrated if my team was like that. So I just like how Collingwood just take the game on at all costs. It's fun and entertaining. So
Yeah, no, that's exactly what Craig McRae wanted to do from the get go, which is unreal. Ben, mate, thank you for coming on. We'll definitely have a bigger chat a bit later if I do get this other series up and running. But I appreciate it, mate, all the way from the NZ.
thank you, Luke.
Not too easy, mate. Have a good one.
You too, bro.
Thanks, brother. All right, JT, you ready to come on, bro? All right, let's do it.
How are we?
How you going, mate? Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm going good.
Tell me, man, what are your thoughts on the season so far, and where do you see us sort of improving and or anything in between?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been good. I mean, the perfect example was definitely last week. I mean, down by 54, I think it was. Come back, end up winning by 1. Yeah, I think so far we've played pretty well this season. We started off pretty poorly, but once we got back into things, it's been pretty good to be a Collingwood supporter.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. So what are your thoughts? So we go 0-3 before we take on Brisbane Lions. So we lose to St Kilda, and what are you sort of thinking after that game?
Yeah, look, I definitely expected us to win that game. Yeah, going out of it, I was thinking, people saying stuff like premiership hangover and stuff like that. Part of me was sort of thinking it, but then I'm like, literally all I was thinking, once we get one win, we should be able to start getting multiple. Yeah, after Brisbane, how many wins did we win after that? Like in a row, 8, 9?
We went, so after Brisbane, that was round 3. So we went on, we had one draw in between, and then we only lost against the Doggies. Like we since that St Kilda game, we've had one loss in 11 weeks, which is insane.
Yeah. I think towards the end of the season, you know, our reputation in finals should. I'd say we definitely make finals. I think our reputation in finals could potentially bring us into the granny. I don't know. I don't want to be too cocky in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think we could be on track. Because at the moment we don't even have like who's out? Penderbury's out. DeGoey's out. Elliot, yeah. Some of our better players.
6 premiership players. Yeah.
Yeah. All of them are out with injury. So I think once we have them back in the side, Dean McStay comes back in later in the season. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, around 20.
Once we have that all back, we could be back to the side that we were last year.
Yeah, look, 100%. What's been your favorite win this season?
Last week was pretty good, but I think my favorite this year got to be against Carlton. Nick Dacos kicking the win. Yeah. It was just good. It was just great.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the best wins I've seen this year. What's been your favorite?
And what's been my favorite win? I think it was the Demons win. Like we've had a couple of good wins just in general, but I think the Demons win because of everything around it, because of the Maynard thing. There was a lot of publicity. It was their first time playing each other since the final, and on paper they should have smashed us. They had pretty much a full team, and for us to be 6 premiership players down, all these injuries, all these new kids, to come out and do what we did. We won that game by 38 points. It's our third biggest win of the season. So to come out and do that is just it says a lot about the team. It says a lot about the team and the belief that they have. And it's going to be very, very interesting when all these players come back. One, of how do we get them back in? And two, it's like, it's going to be really scary. We haven't had a full team since, I want to say maybe the St Kilda game. We haven't had a full team since.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like when we're on that winning streak, it seems like we're losing a player each week.
Yeah. No, it's been crazy. And what's been your biggest sort of like, fuck, I can't believe we lost that, or I can't believe we drew that game?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, St Kilda was definitely a shock. I expected to win that one. I don't really know. The draw Anzac Day, I definitely expected that game to be a close game either way.
Yep. Whether
it was us winning or them. I had it under a goal. The final scores would be.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think most of the losses that we had this year, I was kind of like, it's going to be hard for us to win anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe, I got to go with St Kilda. And considering the side that St Kilda are currently, I'm kind of like, how did we lose that?
Yeah. I say it every week.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
The St Kilda game, it was a bit because then I think the next week they got done, and then the week after they got done. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, how we lost to these guys by 15 or something points, and we just weren't clicking. And I think that was just a culmination of those the 2 games that we played beforehand, opening to the Giants, then going against the Swans. It was just a big 3 weeks. But I'm glad they changed it up. What are your thoughts on the on that Fremantle draw, being up by 24, 25 points? And I know, I guess we kind of have to, mention that it was that umpiring decision as well. But we were up by 24, 25 points. What's your thought on that game in general?
Yeah, I think once Fremantle, look, when it was at Optus, like the few weeks beforehand, it was like Fremantle were Fremantle are sometimes a really strong side at home, but then other times they could just play like, I don't know, like they're the worst side in the league. So I feel like it's sort of like 50-50. It's like what version of Fremantle is showing up. And then, unfortunately for us, it was the better side of them. And, it ended up being a draw. I was still confident going into that game that we were going to win that. I was really confident. And, sometimes it's not good to be too confident because then, when you lose or for example, like what happened with us where it was a draw, yeah, then you just feel really let down when that happens. But at the end of the day, we take a draw over a loss. But yeah, I'll
100%.
definitely take a win any day.
And going into we'll talk about just next week's game against Gold Coast before I let you go. What's your sort of feelings from there? We've got a couple of players returning. Gold Coast are really good at home.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big game. What are you sort of feeling?
Well, I could be completely wrong about this, but I believe we have people like Mychek back, Degoe is back as well, Tom Mitchell as well. I don't know if I'm missing any players or if I've got them all.
And possibly Pendles as well.
Possibly Pendlebury as well. Considering how strong Gold Coast have been at home, if it was at the G, I'd definitely be backing us in to win that pretty comfortably. I think we should just get over the line, especially if we have people like Scully, Mychek, and all that back. I don't know. I'm hoping we win. I'm hoping we win.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I really don't know. It could. I don't see them smashing us. I don't see us smashing them. I think, under 2 goals final margin.
Wow. Yep.
Under 2 goals. I don't know. I really don't know. It could either go either way.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't want to do another. I just don't want to do another close game. Like if we win, awesome. But I just don't want to do another close game, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it, and we'll make this a thing that we do often. Thanks, JT.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Bye. All right, I've got a couple more people lined up. This has been fun, man. Like, I'm gonna really just. We might make it a specific day. So maybe not Thursdays because Thursdays are usually family dinners. So maybe like Wednesday nights we'll do this, which will be fun. Maybe it'll be like a bit of a later one. Maybe like a 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday to kind of have a chat. Jump in. I've got 3 people lined up, but jump in. There's a link up there. You don't even have to show your face. You can just have a chat. I love chatting with you guys. You guys give me life. I do what I do because of you guys. And Mazy said I could jump on from a different supporter view. Yeah, 100%, man. Even if you don't barrack for the Pies and you want to have a chat, that'll be great. All right, Boomer, I'm gonna get you on now, mate. Let's have a chat.
Can you
Boomer,
hear me,
can you hear me? Yes, can hear.
Yep, I can. Okay, we can hear each other. Firstly, I've got to say, I love your work, mate.
Thank you so much.
After the Carlton game, when you were outside the ground, you were actually standing 3 metres from the spot where Wayne Harms punched the ball back in from 1975. That's the spot, and you're also very close to where Jeremy Cameron kicked that goal from last year as well, too. So your scouting is great.
Hey, that's exactly what I do, mate. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the Pies so far this season?
Well, that game on the weekend, 54 is not enough. I'm blown out by it. 48, I'm out in the country, so I only watch on TV. Yep. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to endure this pain because I bleed black and white. I'm worse than Eddie Maguire. Yep. I'm going to cop the badge with the goods because this ride has been the best I've ever seen in 60 years of barracking for Collingwood.
Oh, wow.
Loved it. Just coming back from 48, I thought, well, Pendle said last year that we came back 3 times from 24 points down, and that's only happened in club history twice before, and yet we did it 3 times last year under Fly. And I thought, well, 24, 48's 2 times that, and we can get it.
Yeah.
And then when they came out, they got the next one, 54. Oh, well, now it's going to be an honourable loss. Can we get it down to 2 or 3 goals? I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And suddenly Lockie Schultz appears. Lockie, the man. It's much touted about Lockie Schultz, but he's kind of been not fitting in and then just off the chain on the weekend. So that was awesome.
So good.
I think coming back from 54, it is one of the greatest comebacks. We'll be talking about this as a sliding doors moment, which is what I'm going to cover. No specific games, really. What I'm going to say, though, is, and no one's brought this up, I love it. Kudos to the other guys, really good talkers, love it. But the improvement of seasoned older players after they've been named sub. Now, this has been Chris suddenly, he was fumbling everywhere. He was like looking on being dropped.
He was.
Got sub, he's turned it round. That was about round 2, 3. Side bottom, also been out of sorts, not usual siding. Subbed, then suddenly after it, he burnt on the weekend. He was on fire, mate.
Yep.
Bobby Hill's always pass it off. I don't want to upset the old guys. Bobby Hill, mate, the Department of Civil Aviation are going to fly him, going to find him any more fucking hang time because he needs a pilot's license to do that. Also, Will Hoskin-Elliott has turned it round. To me, he's just like ordinary, but now he's the nuts and bolts. So, and who's the other one? There's Lipinski.
You said Lipper.
Those
Yep.
all 4 who've been subbed and then come in. Their season has turned around since then, and they've been able to carry the young'uns and Harvey Harrison and Lockie Sullivan. They're the future Dane Swans and some of our guys that are coming through now. And Billy Frampton, we've got to keep him up the back, mate. We don't want
I think so.
Frampton, Jeremy, Jezza, mate. When will that guy stop? The whole team. I'm just so proud of my boys now. They are the best. And I've had a bit of a rant. Yeah. Go on.
No, that's okay. You said this is the best. This is the best sort of time period in the 60 years that you've been chatting. So you've seen a lot of really good players. You've seen a lot of really good teams. What do you think makes this team so special compared to like the 02, 03 team, the 10 and the 11 team, and obviously the 1990 team and stuff like that?
Right. Well, the 1990 team, I've got to say, we just happened to fluke 3 or 4 young players. Lee Matthews took over as coach, so we finally looked outside for a good coach. When Lee came in, he coached the reserves in 86, 87, then went on to the seniors. So Lee did his apprenticeship as a coach with us. Now, he happened to get a couple of guys called Gavin Brown and a guy called Damien Munker. So suddenly we had rucks and we had on-ballers. We had this certain bloke who can play a bit. I can't remember. Was it Peter Dacos, I think? Yeah, he can play a bit.
I think that was his name. Yeah, I think that was his name.
Yeah. So I got to sit there and watch him at Vic Park when it was all just standing room. And we'd have a game at Vic Park and against North Melbourne, believe it or not. And you'd see a scramble around where there was no 50-metre line, but it would have been. Scramble, blue and white and black and white. And you see the ball fly out. And you think, who kicked that? And then go through the sticks. Dacos. You know what I mean? Like,
insane.
The guy used to swap it from 50 metres out, but we didn't know it was 50. We didn't know because the 50-metre line came in AFL. So watching the old man, watching Peter Dacos and Gary Ablett Sr., Gary Ablett Sr. has got to be one of the most awesome non-Collingwood players ever. He's just his ball craft, his balls, his height. He could play small, tall, in between, and he was an arsehole as well. So Lee Matthews, Gary Ablett, and Peter Dacos, the Macedonia Marvel player, I thought they are the best of all time. I will never see better than that. And yet, lo and behold, we got Pendles and bloody Nick turn up, the master and the apprentice. And so now I've got to say, the 2010 side, Dane Swan. I only heard this yesterday, but Dane Swan, after training, used to go into the altitude room, set it to 4,000 metres, and then run, turn the temperature up and run. And that's why he never got tagged. Nick Dacos has got to do the same. Just run and run. You'll never get tagged. So this team, Fly has got it together. He's got rid of all the Ross Lyon, Nathan Buckley, Mick Malthouse style of military coaching where they yell at the players and do things. Fly has got Julie McCreary. Julie McCreary's address on Mother's Day says it all. That was just, we're now being invited into our team. And you know what? I think they missed the marketing chance. They gave TJ, who's going to be a great player, by the way, they gave TJ the number 19. They should have kept that and sold them as jumpers for us guys to wear to the games, and we could be the 19th player. I really think they missed a marketing point there. And
that's actually
did you buy number 19 to be the 19th man?
Yeah, 100%. That's actually a pretty good. I'll put you into contact with their marketing team, but that's actually a really good idea. But you mentioned TJ. He had that debut, the 6th debutant of the season. I thought he did really well. He's doing really well in the VFL. He's going to play exactly like his brother. It's just so great to see. Boomer, before I leave you, one more question. Bobby Hill or Jamie Elliott's mark, mate? Which one's better?
I think Bobby's, because the way he just went up, got the second launch like Jamie did, took it a bit lower, closer to his chest, but the way he just landed was like a well set up motocross bike. Just plush.
Yeah.
Landed, didn't even hit the deck, just boom, looked at him. But I've got to say, my favourite moment so far of the whole season was at the start of the Melbourne game when Cuzzy Pickett went to grab Bobby out on the wing, and Bobby just face palmed him, put him down. And you can almost telepathically, you could hear Bobby telepathically say, I have a Norm Smith medal, and then kick the ball, which set up Hospitality up for a win. So, the best thing of our teammate is our teamwork, our utility. Frampton, Howe, Darcy Moore up back. Noble, when he doesn't butcher it. But this year, the Swans are going to go well because they've got two of our ex-guys. They've got Grundy and Tay up there, and they're doing pretty well too. So anyway, mate, been a pleasure. I would love you to do this. Do it in blocks of 4 if you could on a Wednesday or Thursday night. I would love to come in and talk about each 4 games in retrospect. So, love your work.
Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it.
And thanks to the other
guys.
Worries. Cheers. Peace out, boys.
Bye.
Go Pies.
All right. Boomer, that was good. I liked everyone saying the talking magpie. Benny saying that you're a legend. Thank you so much for coming on. It's nice to it is. It really is nice to do this again, dusting the old cobwebs off. I've got to get I keep fiddling with these because they keep my ears are getting itchy. But anyway, that's my problem, not your problem. All right. UG, we ready?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, doing pretty good.
Not much. Welcome back. It's we're doing this.
It's obviously the first time I've been on here.
Tell me, mate, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
Oh god, I think obviously I'd probably have to go back to the preseason. Like preseason looked extremely good. Like I thought we were traveling really nicely. And then obviously once we did the whole preseason and got into the home and away season, obviously we knew what happened and stuff, and it wasn't ideal. I knew straight away from the start, like I did mention this like on places like Twitter and stuff like that. When it came to our midfield was just too slow. Because even though the players that we had, like your Pennebrys, your Mitchells, and side bottoms at the time, as much as their numbers were a bit low, you could also see the guys from the opposition who were getting disposals were guys that could run. For memory, I know Lockie Midfield absolutely torched us. Errol Goulden torched us as well. Like guys that could run were our Achilles heel at the time. Yeah.
Is that my internet or is that your internet?
I'm not sure. Why am I not coming through?
Is that your internet struggling or is that my internet?
I hope not. I've got NBN.
UJ?
Yeah, I might have to turn down my settings.
Continue. I think we're back now.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so obviously with our midfield, like our
what is going on? That's all right. Keep chatting. I'll try and see what I can do on my end. Just keep going, and we'll
all good. So obviously with the season, like how it started, it seemed that we were very exposed with our pace, especially in the midfield. And then obviously, regardless if it was through obviously Fly debuting the kids or the kids coming through just pure injuries and things like that. Because I think you can make a case for obviously both. But yeah, ever since we've actually injected that speed in the youth, like Harrison's been amazing. Richards, for the handful of games he's played, he was really good. And then also as well too, during the whole entire process, it's also lifted guys like your Crisps and your Hoskin Elliots and players like that. And I feel like it's obviously had a lot of impact on the whole group with like the kids coming through. And I think even though I feel like it was a little bit forced through to injuries, but at the end of the day, an opportunity is an opportunity. So the fact 100%. That it was there
and who's been your favourites? Who's been your favourite debutant so far this season?
Oh, debutant in terms so obviously they have to play. They have to have played this year. Because even though he may not have debuted this year, I've actually been really enjoying Harvey Harrison's development. he played obviously I think the 2 games last year, and yeah, okay, actually, yeah, it might be from my end because I'm from Telstra as well.
Yeah, Sandra just saying that Telstra
Yeah.
NBN is down. I think that's who we're with as well. Damn. That's right. We'll just keep pushing through. We'll just keep pushing through. Always teething pains. Always teething pains.
Yeah.
So yeah, your favorite debutant?
Yeah, so probably Harvey Harrison, even though he technically hasn't debuted this year. I mean, it even just feels like he's just a brand new recruit at times. I've spoken about him pretty highly this year. I sort of, for those that obviously, want a comparison, the comparison I seem to find is the Shane Edwards from Richmond. Someone that's, amazing when he plays, but like you never sort of see his full impact unless if you actually dissect his whole game. Like that tap on he had against, I believe it was Carlton with the Nick Dacos goal. Like that was because he literally tapped it on for the ruck. Just small, crucial, plays that happened. The small little handball, the tap on or whatever. I've noticed that, sometimes you just have players that just have a knack to just, for whatever reason, talent or just pure luck, he's just there. And he's there to make the right play,
He definitely has that.
So he's been super impressive. So in terms of someone that's it's a little bit cheating because again he debuted last year.
Last season, yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite win this year?
Favorite win? I don't tend to look back too much, so obviously I'm gonna go. Obviously, North seems like the easy answer.
Yeah.
When it comes to like thinking back on the season, I'm sure there might be one. Actually, then again, there's probably not one better than North, to be fair, because North's a good week to pick a game. Just trying to think of one.
I'll point you out a couple. There's that Blues win, there's the Hawks win, there's the Adelaide win, as well. The Crows one was by 4 points. That's when Nick had 41. The Lions, the Hawks, Demons.
I'll probably say the Lions. I'll probably say the Lions just from the pure context of that game and what that meant.
Yeah.
Because if we had lost that game, that would have put us, and it probably gave me more confidence than probably it would most, just purely because like we've always seemed to struggle with Brisbane. Yeah, but then when I look back at it, every time we seem to play Brisbane at the at the Gabba, the situations never necessarily like season ending. So I feel like sometimes the players will go up there. And at no point I will say that the players will never try, but I get the sense that we're never fussed when we lose to Brisbane, because we just seem to be like, okay, well, a loss to Brisbane is not a bad loss; it's an honourable loss.
Yeah.
So I never get the sense of when we lose, the players have never like, even though I felt like last year we got outplayed badly. And it just seemed like a bad night overall. But the fact that, so that was for last year, but then this year, obviously, we played extremely well. But I think that was because the players, as I said, like it's not that the players don't put in effort every week. They obviously do, but you could just tell that like they were okay. We're going in this game to win, and we're not going to leave like otherwise. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. And look, before I leave you, so we can get some other guys in. What was the better mark, mate? Elliott's or Bobby's?
Okay, so I will definitely go Bobby. I think there's more to it. The easiest way I can explain it is that obviously with the Olympics you got the diving.
Yeah,
I feel like as much as Elliott's mark was good and great, it was a very solid mark, but there wasn't. Obviously, there's risk. Obviously, there's parts where it's hard, and some parts where it's like not so. I felt like Elliott's a very good solid mark, where Hill's mark was like taking the dive off the top end of the diving boards.
Yeah.
And the fact that he mastered that and then Elliot mastered his. Because it's sort of neck and neck, you sort of have to give it to Hill because his was the harder one to pull off.
Yeah. And
so,
the way he used, was it Jackson Archer, floated off Archer, then used Billy Frampton to elevate himself. Yeah, CMC just said it. Bobby floated. It's been it was incredible. All I'm hoping for now is someone else, maybe it's Bobby again, to take a really, really beautiful hanger. Maybe it's Jeremy Howe. Takes a beautiful mark. And at the end of the year, it'll be Hill, Elliot, or Howe as the three voting. So at least we go to a Collingwood player, because God forbid, it gets taken by like a Joe Danaher again, like Jeremy Howe's one that was almost pretty much mark of the century, and then Danaher does a cheap chest mark and gets that. Ultimate, thank you so much for joining me, mate.
Or you get Sidey to be a part of it, because I don't think anyone expected Sidey to get in it.
Exactly right. Exactly.
But also
right.
as well, even with Hill, I thought his mark was very Andrew Cracker-esque from 2011, and the Elliot one was actually trying to think of the dude's name. Took a mark on the Essendon player in 2011. Walker, that's his name, from Carlton.
Oh, Walker.
I feel, and I had the same conversation. I remember back then being like, obviously Cracker's had the better mark compared to Walker, because you look at everything around. Cracker had so many areas where he could have faltered and it could have crumbled. Where as amazing as it was, it's a very simple thing, which isn't bad. But I mean, when you get something that's difficult, again, it's the diving board analogy. I feel like gets it across pretty good.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll do this more often, bud.
Yeah, all good.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, see ya.
Dion, you ready to go, mate? You've been in the chat for a while. Well, Dion, because I saw you had your camera on. It's not on now. If you want to just give me a thumbs up, and I'll chuck you in. Just quickly, what midfield was better, our 2010 Premiership or our? I think, it's hard. 2010, I think, for nostalgia purposes, but I can't go past 2023. The Dacos boys and Pendles and Tom Mitchell. I think Tom Mitchell. Oh, actually, since I've got all of you in here, I'll let you in on something. 10 o'clock tomorrow, Instagram Live. I'll be having a chat with Tom Mitchell about the season, about how he's doing. So that'll be on Insta Live, which will be a little bit of fun. Only go for 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. But that'll be cool. But yeah, his grand final, very underrated. 13 or 14 tackles, insane. All right, Dion, thumbs up, ready to go, mate? Beautiful. Let's do it. How you going, mate?
Good. How you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you for joining me. Tell me, what are you feeling about the season so far?
I wasn't overly happy with our start of the year, but I also think that the two teams we played, both of them, one of them, GWS in particular, they were going to come off a strong start to the year considering how their year finished. So I was sort of expecting that. Plus we played them over there as well, which doesn't help. And I was I wasn't expecting us to go crazy for those first two games. And then now I think, so we've progressed well, we had to. Still coming off a premiership, we were never going to end the year poorly. I'm happy with where we are. I think once we get some big players back as well, we should perform really well towards the end of the year for sure.
Yeah. we've got our last we've got 2 away games left, which are interstate games, which is the Suns next week, obviously, and then round 22 against the Swans at the SCG, and then 2, 4, 6. So 7 of the last 9 games are at the MCG, and then you would think if we finish top 4, we've got a couple more games at the MCG. So it's a good run home in that sense. Yeah. It's a tough run home though, but more so, like you mentioned, we've got a few players coming back. Out of all the players sort of coming back, 6 premiership players, Dan McStay, who are you most excited for? Who do you think we've missed so much?
I mean, not to slander O'Sullivan and a few of those boys at the moment that are playing in our midfield, but I think sort of some of those games they may fade a little bit just because they haven't had a lot of exposure to AFL level. And I think players like Mitchell and Pendlebury offer that because they just are so experienced in this area. So I feel like they definitely will help. I'm excited to see McStay. Hopefully he does come back. I think it was round 20. He was
round 20 is when he's touted. Yep.
So that'll obviously help us a lot because that's like a natural leading key forward that I think sometimes at the moment we definitely don't have. I mean, Kruger's been great, but I mean, like McStay showed just how good he was in that burst in the finals that he had. So I'm excited to see him. Who else have we got to come back? McStay, Mitchell, Pendlebury. Oh, DeGoey, of course. DeGoey, I feel like DeGoey will dominate when he comes back. I guess all those players at the moment. I've just been loving, especially I love Joe Richards for the little burst that he had. I think he looked really, really good. Naturally gifted. Joe Richards.
Joey does. Oh, you know who we didn't mention? Jamie Elliott as well. Is due to come
of course. Back. Well, he's just a workhorse. Him and Myercheck as well. They're just so important for us up front.
Dion, do you know a John Walton?
No.
Okay, because I thought someone said this bloke secretly goes for Carlton. I thought and he said that he was kind of cute. Is this one of your mates?
It is. No. I'm as diehard as it gets. Pies. Yeah, I'll grab down one of my picture frames for you. Look at this. That's just one of them. That's my Elliott one. There's no Carlton merchandise in this house. I can tell you that.
No, I love that. Yeah, so Elliott as well is due to come back, but I said it in the video, in my video today, that I feel like Joe Richards is sort of that Jamie Elliott 2.0.
Well, he's the next thing. So I'm excited to see him. To be honest, I just want to see the pairing. Hopefully he doesn't get injured because he's been so injury prone, Kruger. But I'd love to see him and McStay up front.
Oh my god! Can you I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video about it. But can you imagine? And just two key pillars, two guys that'll just crash and bash packs.
Yeah, it'd be great. And Kruger puts his body on the line so much as well, which I love. So, it'd just be great to see that, just as an option up front. I can't remember the last time. It would have been 2011. We used to have Cloak and those boys and Dawes. That was the last time we had two big bodies up front. So it'd be great to see it.
And Paul Myercheck just can't do it all. but so we'll finally see. Finally. I know they've played together a couple of times, but we'll finally see Myercheck with another key forward in Kruger. So that's gonna really help. And
he's so he plays so undersized for what the position that he needs to play. Checkers, and I think he does such a good job. You look at other key forwards, and they're 6'6", 6'7", and he plays as good as he can in that position. So and
to come as a premiership fullback as well, and to be chucked in the forward line, kicks over 200 goals in 6 or so years since 2018.
We couldn't get any more out of him. He's been fantastic. Yeah.
Nah, and he deserves this. I know he's done his hamstring, but he deserves this little rest. He's been battered from pillar to post. It's been incredible. Dion, thanks so much for coming on, mate. I appreciate it, and we'll do this more often.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right. So, the dog's barking downstairs, and Poppy. I don't know what's going on. All right. So, we've got a couple more. Jude, you ready to go, mate? A couple more, and then we'll go. But this has been, it's been fun. It's been really good. All right, Jude, let's do it. How you going, mate?
I'm great. Just finishing the semester at uni, and I'm
nice.
After that North win, I'm really glad we got a bye because my dad was saying the same thing. He just wants a break for a week after that because
Yeah, your heart needs it. What are you studying at uni?
Economics. So just a straight Bachelor of Economics right now. And one more week to go. So
that's it. You smashing it? You smashing it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good. Good luck, mate. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Tell me about the Pies.
God, where to begin? I watch a lot of sports, but watching the Pies, they're just such an amazing team to watch because they just make you believe in the team so much. Like Craig McRae, he's just like I wrote an essay for my leadership class that I did, and I used Craig McRae as my like study basically about how like just about like how he's not afraid of failure and how pretty much every single scenario he tries to find the good in it. Like when I just remember that week when everyone was getting injured, it's like Pendles is out, Cox is out, everyone's out. And then he's just like, yeah, but how good is it going to be when they all come back? And it's just like, everything's good now. Like he's
got a way to sort of flip it. And you know, and I've said this so many times in my videos and personally and stuff, the way that sort of way of thinking where, yeah, we can be like, fuck, we've got 15 on the injury list and Pendles is gone and we've never really played without Pendles and this and that and that. And I guess fans can think that, but it's also like to see the team go, you know, 1 loss in 11 games just shows you that the team doesn't think that. The team thinks that whoever is in can get the job done. And it's incredible to see, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I feel like people panic a bit too much when players are out. Like, honestly, it only happens when a ton of players are out, you feel it. But like people forget, we didn't have Nick Dacos for the first Melbourne final win last year, and it's like we won a final without our best player. And like there have been so many times that we didn't have Howe for half of last season. Well, we won the grand final with Billy Frampton at forward. Like people forget that. It's just amazing how much every single person seems to believe in the team and the message. And I really don't think other supporters kind of get it a lot of the time. Like,
no, I definitely agree. I don't think it's funny because I think this might be pretty biased, but I don't think there's another coach in the league like Craig McRae with the way that he sort of talks. And I watch a little bit of the presses of other sort of clubs, and I don't feel like there's a coach like him. So I feel like it's very against the grain when he's trying to flip a positive or trying to say it doesn't matter. Like, we're not here to win pretty, or we're not here to, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I can see how that sort of gets in some supporters' heads, like opposition supporters' heads. But I love it. Like, it's really changed the dynamic, and it's really changed everything about the Pies.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it annoys other clubs because, like, if they got like a big win against us, and you know the Craig McRae is like trying to find a positive, they're going like, well, why? No, we just beat you. But like they kind of just don't get like the mentality that he's trying to build the whole time. And you even look like another great coach like Chris Scott, for example. You know, you watch a presser from him, and you just don't feel. Obviously, they don't go for Geelong, but like you just don't feel the same. Or just like belief in the players.
100%. Tell me, Jude, what's been your favorite win this season?
I think in terms of moment, it was obviously Nick Dacos against Carlton, kicking the winner. But I think overall win was the Port Adelaide one, when we just kind of like after quarter time we just didn't let up at all. And like we've shown glimpses like against Port Adelaide last year as well. And like whenever we just play that perfect footy, it's just like those are my favorite games because it doesn't always happen, but sometimes when they just do it for almost the whole game, they're just so incredible to watch.
It kind of happened. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't happen very often. Like it's very rare that we play a 4-quarter performance. I think the Melbourne game we were thereabouts for four quarters, which was very nice. But what's your, just before I let you go and I go fucking sort out this dog, what's your sort of game that got away, do you reckon?
I mean, it's obviously the Fremantle game. You know, that one that was quite tough. It ruined my weekend a bit when that happened.
Yeah.
But it was pretty easy to move on eventually. Like, I mean, after the Bulldogs lost, I kind of took that night and I was like, am I going to have to reassess? Like, because I believe we were going to go back to back the whole year. That was the only time I was like, am I going to have to readjust my expectations? I took a day to think on it, and then I was like, you know what, we were ninth after that. People were coming back. I felt okay, and we're bloody up into third right now. Like, if you as I said, I watch a lot of sports. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL, they had a pretty bad season because they won it. So they've just gone back to back in 2023 or 2022. They had like a dominant season all the way through, first the whole time, went and won the Super Bowl. And then last year they were all kind of up and down during the regular season, bit more injured in that. But by the time playoffs happened and finals happened, it was like, oh, people were treating them like they did the last year. And I'm pretty confident that's going to happen with it. Like, I'm fairly confident we're going to finish second or third, and because Sydney's probably going to finish first at this point. But like, really, we got the minor premiership last year. It's not like a thing, all the dominant teams they don't finish first every year. They just perform when finals happens.
100%, man. 100%. Look, Jude, thanks for coming on, mate. I'm going to get a couple more people on, but I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon, all right? Sam, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get this dog. Poppy, come here. Poppy, where are you, mate? You got to be on camera because you jumped on the bed. So now we have to explain to everyone. How you jumped on mum and dad's bed, right? And then you couldn't get down because it was too high for you. So you were barking, waiting for me to come and get you, huh? All right. Who's Abs? Are you ready to come on, mate? I've seen you waiting there. So this is Poppy. This is mum and dad. So I moved outside my house, back in with mum and dad now. This is their dog. This is Poppy. I got Clark. I know Clark. Come up here. No. Clark's down there. Lex is on my bed. It's a doggy daycare at the moment. All right, Abs. I'm gonna chuck you in, mate.
No worries.
Abs, can you hear me? Abs. All right, no Abs. Little Sparky, you've been waiting a while. Let's chuck you in. I can't see your thumbs up because you got no video, so just let me know if we'll just chuck you in and have a chat. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Tell me, mate. What are your thoughts about the Pies?
I think they're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, and what's been your favourite win so far this season?
Probably the North Melbourne one.
Yeah, and what were you thinking when the Pies were down by 54 points early in that third quarter?
I thought we were probably going to lose, but I thought we were probably going to lose.
Yeah, and we come back from 54 points, and does that sort of give you belief for the rest of the season and how we're sort of gonna go?
Yeah, I think we probably will maybe win the rest of the season.
Yeah, and who's been your player of the season so far?
Probably Nick Dacos or Bobby Hill.
Yeah, he's been absolutely smashing it, Nicky. Do you reckon? What do you reckon are his chances for the Brownlow?
Not too sure.
Not too sure. What's so what about the worst? Which one has been your worst loss so far this season?
Probably the first round.
The first round?
Yeah,
going down to the Giants. Yeah, no good. Will Sparky, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I appreciate the
No
chat,
worries.
and I appreciate you having the confidence to come on after you said you were a little bit shy. But you did such a good job, and I can't wait to talk to you again,
Yep.
mate.
Bye.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. So I don't know if you can see. So that's Clark, and that's Lex. And my bed was done, but they went underneath the covers, and they've made a mess. All right. We got a couple more. Muzz, I'm gonna chuck you in. Excuse me. I'm gonna chuck you in, and we'll have a quick chat. We'll do a couple more chats, and then I'm gonna finish the rest of my dinner. But this has been so much fun. All right, Muzz, can you hear me?
Hey Luke, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you going?
Not too bad.
Tell me, what are your thoughts on the season so far? 8 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. How you feeling?
What is going on? That's
What is
my
going on?
first thought. What is going
Yeah.
on? We were premiers last year, and now, poof.
Well, we're sitting.
It's gone like how. Wait, we have Pendles, Degoe, Mitchell, Cox, all at the side, and it feels like those new kids in Richards, Sullivan, even Harvey Harrison. They're putting this team on their back.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last couple of weeks, you've seen Joe Richards step up. He's been unbelievable throughout that midfield. Even Finley McRae when Pendles has been out.
Yeah, Finn's done what
He's been
he's
absolutely
needed.
unbelievable in that midfield.
Yeah.
And I feel like getting these. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go. It's fine. Good.
You mentioned Lockie Sullivan, so he comes on. Obviously, that Carlton game is where he debuts in such a big bloody game. You know, no Tom Mitchell, no Jordan De Goey. An incredible story. What do you think? What is his sort of chances when we see a Mitchell come back, when we see a Jordan De Goey come back? How are you sort of feeling? How are you sort of feeling about Sullivan's the rest of his year?
I reckon Sullivan will stay in the side, no doubt. I reckon he's that small crummer that we need in that midfield. Because obviously he's shown his attributes of what he can bring to the team. And he's a really good player, don't get me wrong, around the ball. When he wants to make good decisions, he can, but I feel like he'll be a Pendles type player, so he knows when to pick the right option. He just hasn't had that experience yet.
Yeah.
Like as he builds a bit more experience, him, McRae, and Harrison, those 3 young guns, when they build up more experience, they will find the right options. So going inside forward 50, making those smart options, kicking it in. So just for example, so you've seen other people like Harley Reid, Zach Merritt, Tim Kelly. Those guys are all really good ball users going throughout the middle. And when they do get their ball in hands, 75% or more of the time, they will hit an option. And I feel like that's what Sullivan, Finley, and all these other type of kids will do when they get that game experience.
Yeah, and that's been such a positive of not having these guys in because of the injuries. Like, I know it's a negative to have all these injuries, but the positive is you get all of these players that wouldn't have gotten to go really unless someone's really out of form, which doesn't often happen. But you're putting games into Sullivan, you're putting games into McRae, Joe Richards, Harrison, all of these players. So when touchwood, it doesn't happen, but if you really need them in finals, that they've got that gusto to go on and smash it out. Look, Muzz, just before I leave you, mate, what's I've been asking everyone your mark of the year, Jamie Elliott's or Bobby Hill's?
Well, that's a tough one, that one. I think Bobby had more courageous going into it. I thought Elliott had more height. I'm not going to say either one because I love them both, but I'm just saying, I think Elliott's had more height. I think Bobby had more courageous. Whatever the decision comes down to, it's, I think, mark of the year for both of them.
Yeah, well, let's fingers crossed they can split the prize. Mars, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
before I go, just saying, keep up the great work, mate. You're doing absolutely phenomenal. From 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where you were, you've done absolutely amazing, mate. I applaud you for that, and you're doing such an amazing job. Well done.
You're gonna make me cry on stream, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're doing really well, mate. Keep it up. You're up there with the best. Well done, mate.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Maz. Thanks, mate. I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you later, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
Hey.
You right? Abs, you ready to go now? Beautiful. All right, I'm going to chuck you on, brother. Abs.
Hey, how you going, mate? Can you hear me?
Not too bad, man. Yeah, can hear you fine. Yeah, how you going?
That's good. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. Big fan of your channel. Being a day oneer, you know.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tell
good
me,
work, man. Yep.
Tell me your thoughts. You want to get down, Poppy? Tell me your thoughts on the season so far.
Yeah. Look, it's been good so far. After winning the premiership last year, obviously expectations were through the roof for this year.
Yeah.
But obviously, I guess we gotta kind of readjust that as we go. I guess Look, I think we've definitely got our season back on track over the last 10 weeks. I feel like the only reason why we didn't beat Freo and Doggies is because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
Especially the Freo game. I think our young players just ran out of legs in the end.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that Freo game, that's what it really felt like. Like, the flight over and just, being up by 25 points. But then, it's just, I think that game, it would have been probably our best win under Craig, that one, and the Western Bulldogs game had we won them. But
definitely,
I'm happy for the draw. I'd rather the 2 points than the loss. But what do you reckon's been our best win of the season so far?
Look, I mean, you can't go past the Carlton game, I guess, because it's Carlton.
Yep.
But I agree with you on the Melbourne game. That was probably our only 4-quarter performance for the year. I feel like every game this year we always have at least one bad quarter where we might kick, like where the other team might actually get on a bit of a run and kick 4 or 5 goals. But I think that was the only game where it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. Yeah, it always happens, and we've seen it where even teams, Essendon and Port Adelaide are two really good examples, kicking 5 or 6 goals straight up. Before we've even touched the ball, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting, and it even happens against like lower teams, like even like against Hawthorn. I mean, Hawthorn's playing great now, but sort of when we played them, they were playing. They had a lot of injuries, and we should have smashed them really. But and we were smashing them in the first half, and then we just stopped, and we just seem to do that in every game, which is can be a bit of an issue because as we saw over the weekend, as great as it was to get the win and as exciting as it was, you don't really want to be coming back from 54 points down every week. Well, it's not going to happen.
And that's exactly right. Like, you don't want to be 54 points down against any team, let alone a team that's 18th and has only won 1 game since August last year. And it was a good fight back. It was absolutely incredible. One sec. Becky, thank you so much for that donation. And well done to little Sparky for coming on after he said he was shy and stuff, and did a really good job. And we're going to get little Sparky back on the next time we do this. But Becky, thank you so much for that $15. I appreciate it to absolutely no end, and it means the absolute world to me. But Abs, we're talking about the season so far. What do you think about the season coming up?
Oh yeah, we got some tough games coming up, like tough teams. They definitely gave us a hard draw, but I guess we won the premiership last year, so we got to expect that. And we got to, I think, look, I think if we can get our players back, if we can get Pendles and Jordan De Goey and Mychek and hopefully Elliott and Mitchell as well at some point and McStay and all that. I think, look, I think Collingwood at their best can beat anyone. You know, it's just whether we
100%.
perform on the day. You know what I mean? I'm pretty confident we can win. How many games are left?
11.
Is it 9?
3, 6. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. It's 9. It's 9. Sorry,
9.
11 is what,
I
how
mean,
many games.
I reckon we could easily win at least 7 out of the last 9. You know,
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, well,
if we
7 of the last
play
9
our
are at the
best.
MCG.
That's what I'm saying. Like we should win at least most of them. You know. So yeah, I reckon we'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we.
I'm
I think we
pretty
will be. I think we will be as well.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's going to be tough. We can't play like how we did in that first half of the North game. But hey, look, if we play like how we did in that second half, for 4 quarters, I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah. No, 100.
Yeah. Which games are you most worried about? If you don't mind me asking.
Most worried about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's hard. Like I think the Swans. Not that I'm worried.
Yeah.
I think we've got a big run of the Blues, the Swans, and the Lions. At that point of the season, the Lions, because it's their second last game, they should really be pushing for the. I think the Blues and the Swans back to back. That's going to really show us what finals are going to be like. That's going to be immense finals like pressure. So that's going to be a real barometer. But by that time, you would hope that by the Tigers game, which is round 20, that our team, besides maybe Jamie Elliott, is fully up and ready to go. And that includes at least having Dan McStay's presence up forward. So it's going to be a big end to the season, the last few rounds. But
definitely.
It'll be the ones that we're sort of, because Swans, let's just say we play Swans in round 22, we could potentially verse them in the first week of finals again if we finish 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna. I'm kind of nervous. I'm a bit worried about the Swans game, but I'm also kind of excited to see how we go against them because they're like the benchmark now, and it's kind of good. It's kind of a good thing because I felt like last year there was so much pressure on us to win the premiership because we were the best team all year. And you were hearing it all from the opposition supporters. If you don't win it, it's the biggest choke ever. Blah blah blah. Collie wobbles, this, that, the other. I guess it's kind of good this year that we don't have that pressure now. Now it's sort of going to be more on the Swans and the Blues. Like, come on, we done it last year. Let's see what you guys can do.
Yeah, it'll be. I totally understand what you're saying, and there's a bit of a feeling that maybe the Swans have peaked a little bit too early in the season. So I think we're, you want to be playing good all season, but I think we're sort of swimming along nicely a little bit in regards to how our form is. And I think that last Kangaroos game was just, spending all our tickets to get into the bye, and we'll really hit the ground running after the Suns.
Yeah. I chalk it up to being at Marvel. I think we're just terrible at that ground. Well, not terrible. I mean, we just seem very inconsistent. Remember we lost to the 100%. Eagles there not long ago. I mean, we definitely don't perform our best at that ground. So I'll chalk it up to that.
Well, we lost to the bloody Doggies there a couple of weeks ago. So it just doesn't suit. It just doesn't suit us, but unfortunately, we fucking bloody have to play there. Unfortunately, but now look, Abs, thanks so much for joining me this evening, mate, and we'll definitely have a chat soon.
Absolutely, thanks, mate.
Thanks, bro. Oh, all right, guys, I'm probably going to end it there because I actually don't feel. I don't know if you can hear me sniffing. I actually don't feel too good. I feel pretty crook now. So I'm going to end it there, but I just want to tell you all, I appreciate this so much. Thank you for taking time out of your evening with me. We've been doing this for about nearly an hour and a half, and it's been fun. And we're going to do this more often. Hopefully every week. If not, it'll be every 2 weeks. We'll come for a chat. But I just, my God, I don't want to keep sneezing and wiping my nose on my hands on stream. But I just want to shout out again to Becky. Again, absolutely incredible. Everyone that came on, absolutely incredible. I appreciate you all so much. If you aren't following my YouTube channel, if you're watching this from Facebook, jump on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. But it's been good, and I love you all. I'll see you later.